Yo, Celtics Nation, you ready for a wild ride with today's news? We're diving into 4 massive stories that'll hit every fan right in the feels. We've got bold moves, rumors that'll blow your mind, and decisions that could reshape our team's future. Is Brad Stevens cooking up something brilliant or playing with fire? You won't believe what's coming. So grab a seat, smash that like button, hit subscribe with the bell on, and let's jump into the news. Which of these is gonna keep you up at night? The Celtics offseason is straight up chaotic, and the first story hits like a gut punch. With Jason Tatum sidelined for who knows how long with a brutal Achilles tear, the team's under insane pressure to cut costs without gutting the championship core. According to NBC Sports Boston's Chris Forsberg, the new ownership is eyeing 2 blockbuster moves: trading Drew Holiday, our defensive beast, and Sam Hauser, our sharpshooting sniper. Yeah, fans, brace yourselves. This could change everything. For our squad, Forsberg says the NBA's new collective bargaining agreement and its brutal second apron penalties are forcing the Celtics to trim their payroll, which is pushing $200 million. The goal? Dodge long-term financial penalties and stay competitive without Tatum. Holiday, at 34, signed a 4-year, $134.4 million extension, but had a rough patch last season. Still, his elite defense and three-point shooting make him a hot commodity. For playoff teams, Hauser, with a 4-year, $45 million deal, is a cheaper trade chip, but losing him could hurt our bench big time. Dumping Holiday would sting. He's been a rock at point guard with clutch defense, but Peyton Pritchard, our 6th man of the year, has shown he can step up on a budget-friendly 4-year, $30 million deal. Forsberg thinks Pritchard could even start, but can he handle the heat? And Hauser, he's a 3-point machine, but rookie standout Baylor Shireman might slide into his spot. Trading these two is a gamble though. Does Brad see something we don't? Fans are torn. On social media, some are screaming it's crazy to let Holiday go, while others see it as a chance to bet on younger, cheaper talent. The stakes? If this works, the Celtics keep their core with Jaylen Brown and Kristaps Porzingis, maybe even re-sign a free agent big like Al Horford or Luke Cornett. If it flops, we could be stuck in no man's land in the East. Worst part? These trades might not even get us under the second apron. So is it worth the sacrifice for some financial breathing room? Hold on, cause what's next will leave you speechless. And while we're still reeling from the thought of losing Holiday and Hauser, the next rumor hits even harder. Shams Charania on the Pat McAfee show dropped a bombshell. Now the Celtics are gearing up for major trades to shake up the roster for next season, with the payroll skyrocketing and Tatum potentially out for all of 2025-26 due to that Achilles injury. The team's on thin ice. And guess who's on the trade block? None other than Drew Holiday, Kristaps Porzingis, and brace yourself, Jaylen Brown. Yeah, fans, hold on to your emotions. Charania says the front office is facing tough calls. With a projected payroll over $200 million blowing past the NBA's second apron, they can't keep everyone. Teams like the Dallas Mavericks are already sniffing around Holiday to bolster their backcourt, especially after Kyrie Irving's ACL injury. Porzingis, our unicorn, is drawing eyes with his versatility. 19.5 points and 6.8 rebounds per game in the regular season is no joke. And Jaylen Brown, despite a meniscus injury, is a hot name in trade talks. But moving any of these guys is like playing with dynamite. Fans are losing it. On X, some say trading Porzingis would be a colossal mistake, while others think Brown, with a $53.1 million salary next season, could be the key to easing the cap and bringing in new blood. The fallout? If the Celtics move one of these stars, they could gain cap flexibility and draft picks, but it risks killing the chemistry that won the 2024 title. If they stand pat, the second apron penalties could cripple them for years. The big question, who goes? Holiday brings defense and veteran savvy. Porzingis is a one-of-a-kind weapon, and Brown's the heart of the team with Tatum out. Charania made it clear the front office will weigh each player's value. Is Brad Stevens planning a masterstroke or a massive misstep? What are other teams offering? Dallas might come with a deal too good to pass up. One thing's for sure, the roster's changing, and we gotta be ready for anything. And speaking of changes, the next story will make you question everything you thought you knew about the Celtics' future. While we're still processing these game-changing trades, the third story hits like lightning. The Celtics Game 6. Loss to the Knicks in the Eastern Conference semifinals still stings. Worse, our franchise cornerstone Jason Tatum tore his Achilles in Game 4 and is out indefinitely. Shams Charania, back on the Pat McAfee show, doubled down. The Celtics are making moves and won't sit still. They won 61 games in the regular season, but now they're staring at an uncertain future. Can they keep the fire burning? Charania. Stress the front office isn't just focused on cutting costs, they're reshaping the team to compete without Tatum. Al Horford, turning 39, is a free agent, and despite a strong season, might not return. Luke Cornett, another free agent, showed his worth with 6 points and 5.3 rebounds per game, but the real talk is trades. The plan is to offload big contracts like Holiday or Porzingis to bring in pieces that complement Jaylen Brown and keep the team in the playoff hunt. Fans are on edge, and for good reason. On X, fans are debating whether to go all in now or build for the future. Some say it's time to lean on young guns like Pritchard and Skyerman, while others fear the team could become a middle-of-the-pack squad without Tatum. The stakes are huge. Keeping the core could mean crippling second apron. Fines, but trading key pieces might wreck the team's chemistry. If Horford doesn't come back, who anchors the paint? All eyes are on Brad Stevens to balance the present and the future. It hurts to think a team that dominated the regular season has to reinvent itself so soon. The NBA buries teams that don't evolve, and the Celtics know it. Charania said the phones will be ringing off the hook this offseason with one clear goal: build a roster that can survive without Tatum and still make the playoffs. But can they do it without losing the team's soul? Buckle up, because the next story is going to add more fuel to the fire and leave your heart racing. And while we're trying to wrap our heads around this overhaul, the final story is an earthquake. Shams Charania from ESPN says the Celtics, with the NBA's priciest roster projected for next season, will look different. With Jason Tatum potentially out all year due to his Achilles tear, the new ownership isn't keen on spending over $500 million on a team that's not a title favorite. And here's the shocker: Jaylen Brown, our 2024 Finals MVP, could be on the trade block. Yeah, fans, this is real. Greg Swartz from Bleacher Report is pushing the Atlanta Hawks to go all in for Brown. He says pairing Brown with Trae Young and Jalen Johnson would create a killer big three in Atlanta, especially since Brown's from Marietta, a suburb of the city. Brown averaged 22.2 points, 5.8 rebounds, and 4.5 assists, despite a partially torn meniscus that might need surgery. Still, with a $53.1 million salary next season, he's a valuable but expensive asset. Trading him could ease the cap, but at what cost? Fans are going wild on X. Some call it insanity to trade the guy who carried us in the finals, while others say it's time to rebuild around cheaper pieces with Tatum out. And the impact would be massive. Brown's the heart of the team, and losing him could crush morale for both the squad and Celtics Nation. On the flip side, a trade could bring draft picks and young talent setting up the future. But do the Hawks, or anyone, have enough to make it worth it? It's all about balancing, competing now versus planning ahead. Brad Stevens is in a tough spot. Keep Brown and face hefty fines, or risk a trade that could redefine the Celtics. If Brown goes to Atlanta, what happens to the East rivalry? One thing's certain: this offseason is a game changer. And now, fans, the ball's in your court. What do you think about losing Jaylen Brown? Man, what a roller coaster, Celtics Nation. We covered blockbuster trades that could send Drew Holiday and Sam Hauser packing, hot rumors about Kristaps Porzingis, and even Jaylen Brown, the gut-wrenching Knicks loss, and Jason Tatum's injury that flipped everything. The front office is playing chess with the Celtics' future, but is it a stroke of genius or a total disaster? Here's the million-dollar question. Will these moves get us back to the top or leave us stuck in the middle? I want to hear from you. Who stays, who goes? Drop it in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe.